Hey everybody, welcome to the Disc Golf Answer Man on the YouTubes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you share it with your friends. Let them know. Where do you guys grab the link? You grab it off of YouTube?
YouTubes.
YouTube? I shall grab it and share it as well. So yeah, for the YouTubers, well, we won't talk too much because I want to make sure we have stuff to talk about on the actual show when we record the audio, but as people trickle in, I'm sure they'll start saying hellos. We have 2 viewers. That's probably you guys grabbing the feed.
I just shared it there. Shared it to Facebook now. Man. Hit a wall.
Don't hit walls. And don't go chasing waterfalls. And guess what, Robert? There's about to be a bunch of pickleball in my life.
Oh, yeah?
So right after we're done with this and I edit it all together, there's a Monday pickleball at a community center that I went to last week. And then Tuesday night will be at the Abiding Harvest United Methodist Church that I've been going to for a while.
Sick.
And then a new church that I'm going to, Church on the Move, has just started a pickleball program.
Yeah, they have.
And that's on Wednesday nights.
Nice.
Dude,
that's big. Nice.
Sounds awesome. That's way more than I get to play.
Yep.
I'm like twice a week is max for me. Usually it's just once a week.
Yeah, but you're like all playing in events. That's what I need to do. I need to start getting good so I can play in some events.
I mean, you're good. You just have to find the right division to play, right?
Hello, Brody. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, Brody. It's my boy B Flips.
Brody. Ooh, nice.
Is he? You guys don't know if it's B Flips or if it's like a cow's mouth.
Yeah.
Like you're not sure.
What's up, Chaser?
What's up, Chaser?
Big chillin'. All right. I guess we'll go ahead and get started. We can hit record.
Yeah.
Are you folks ready?
Yeah. I just need to turn off my sounds on my notifications.
You want to do that real quick?
I don't want any sounds.
I mean, I get Discord notifications all the time. Like, I just have a couple channels followed, and I'm just like, it gets me constantly where I'm like, ooh, somebody sent me a message. Nope, just some stupid guy chatting in the channels. So you have to be smart about those. All right, actually save that number.
All right. We good? All notifications off?
Much as I can be. You're echoing a little bit, Bobby.
You're echoing.
Is that just your...
Oh, do you have
house?
Do you have it?
I think it's just my house.
Playing in the background?
Okay.
No.
I don't hear him echoing at all.
Ooh, we got a speak pipe. Let's see. Oh, we actually have 2 speak pipes. Let me get that.
Oh.
Let me get that prepped
Wow.
real quick.
Hateful, Jacob.
Live on the thing. Let's download here. Put it. Desktop.
Uh-oh, my camera's doing that glitchy
What do you
thing
mean
again.
I didn't do my hair? Do you see how this has a sick... Dude, I was running. I was in a car accident yesterday. Like, give me a break.
Bobby,
my hair,
do you
Chaser.
want me to unplug and plug back in and restart?
Yeah, go for it while I set this up.
All right.
Bye, Robert. Hope you find your dad.
Did you say you hope you find a new dad? What did you say?
Hope you find your dad. It's from what's it called? Elf.
Oh. I guess I don't remember that. Delete. Oh, I forgot about this.
Dude, it got my heart going. Holy cow. I have my headset pumping pretty loud too, so that was just like, yo. Yeah, Chaser. I'll talk about it here in a minute.
No, we don't want that one. All right, now I need to add.
Oh man.
This, though. I need to add this one and this audio. Boom. Turn that smidge down, Bobby. Sorry, hold on. Let me turn sound effects down. All right, turn it down for now. I know. Okay, I turned it down a little bit. I turned down sound effects, so hopefully it won't blast you guys. I'm sure some of you guys probably have headphones on. That was probably not very nice to do. Well, however long it takes Robert to fix a camera. So we're gonna. There he is. All right, guys. We don't have a lot of. We only have one question on the Google form. We have 2 speak pipes. So if you got a couple questions you want to ask,
We good?
on the YouTubes, you can do that. Oh, we have a couple more questions coming in. So yeah.
Can y'all hear me
good
okay now?
questions.
See me okay now?
Yes, I can see you and hear you.
Where are you?
Whatever.
What'd you say?
All right, here we go. Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answerman. I'm Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze, and I have with me everybody tonight. Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
So we are back with another episode, and yes, thankfully I have both my co-hosts with me. We have a few questions to go over, and we'll talk a little bit of the 2022 match play. I unfortunately didn't get to watch any of it. I had a pretty busy weekend, but Eric Oakley surprisingly has an opinion on it. So we'll see what that's
Of course I
about.
do.
Yeah.
Of course I do. Well, do you know me?
So anyway, so we'll talk about that. You know, one thing new that I did today is that I've loved working from home and remote and being able to work pretty much wherever I want in a sense. But I'm an extrovert. I like to talk to people. Even when I was at DD, I would get up every now and then, every 45, 50 minutes and walk around the warehouse and just kind of have small talk with people.
See, that's exactly what an introvert would say, that wants everyone to think that they're an extrovert.
Are you telling me you don't think me as an extrovert?
No, you are very much an
Okay,
extrovert.
So
I'm just
it
trolling.
kind of got to me, and I will admit, I've had some anxiety around it. And I've had some other things happening in my life that gave me some anxiety, but that was just like another layer of anxiety. So I signed up for a place called Tag Co-working, and it's a place in Bixby, Oklahoma, about 13-minute drive from my house. But you rent office space. Now, I don't get a dedicated office. I just walk in, and then there's tables and chairs and couches and a break room and all that. And there's a couple other people working there from time to time. And so today was my first day, and it was nice. It's nice and bright, windows and everything. So I think it's really going to work out to be a good thing for me to not be. Now, I'll still, because I have some like meetings that I have to do on video calls that I'll be home. But being able to, I have 24/7, so 24-hour access. So I can go there and work whenever I want, which is fantastic. I really like it. So
Nice.
Anyway, it's a
Congrats.
good
That's
thing.
Good job.
Bobby. That's what our office is here as well. Like we have a dedicated office, but it's in a co-working space, and it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm only there 1 day a week, and I could be there 0 days a week, and I would be just fine.
Right. So
But,
yeah, and we've often talked about this, how Robert
Yeah.
is very much like his way after a hard work day to recharge is to kind of just be to himself and do his own little thing, right? Whereas when I was working, I would work, 8, 9, 10 hours here. Of course, I would go out to take Sebastian out, and then, I'd go for a walk. But by the end of the day, I was like, I need to talk to somebody. I need to interact with people. I need to talk with people.
Right.
So anyway. All right, so let's get back to disc golf. That was just a little bit myself. But, another thing, let's see, that happened to Eric Oakley. If you're not following him on Facebook, you know that Eric Oakley was in a vehicle accident where, now, I don't know if you described how it happened on Facebook. If you did, I didn't read it. So,
No,
but tell us
I
real
I
quickly.
haven't talked about it much. So yeah, I'm just about 20 minutes outside of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where I was planning on stopping for the night before getting the last couple hours the next day up to the preserve, and hit a deer doing about 80 miles an hour. Airbag deployed, kind of destroyed the front left side, front left of my car. You can check my story on Instagram or Facebook if you want to see the damage. Side curtain airbag deployed, steering wheel airbag deployed. I am okay. No notable damage like that I can feel. I'm super mad, super upset about everything that happened because it's just an accident. It's like, what are you going to do? But I am okay. I will. This is my best advice for everybody. Make sure you have comprehensive car insurance. Learn from me because this is an absolute nightmare. So I'm going to be out more money than I want to be. I am currently in the process of figuring out how to get into another vehicle while getting everything out of my previous vehicle and finding a place to park it, and then also then pay off the loan on the Rogue to then be able to get the title to then to be able to sell the car as a wrecked car, and while also getting into a new vehicle and having that be something that I'm now driving around. So it's like, let's do this, let's do that, let's do all of this, and then also I'm not going to be in Sioux Falls to sell the car. Can I sell it remote, or am I going to have to fly back in to sell the car? Like, there's so much going on. I will say this, that just reaching out to the disc golf community, Tina immediately last night after I called her, it was around 10:50, close to 11 o'clock last night when I hit said deer, and I didn't get to my hotel until about 2:33 o'clock. So I've had a go of it. But Tina immediately found the Sioux Falls disc golf page, and I posted on there that I might be in need of some help, and if anybody had any leads on some stuff, and immediately had people chiming in to help out. So this is the silver linings through all of this is how amazing the disc golf community is, and I hope that if anyone else is in a similar situation, not just a professional touring player, like anybody else is in a similar situation and needs help from the disc golf community, they aren't afraid to reach out. And I hope that people also extend these helping hands to just anybody. Like, and I've seen it happen, and I love that about the disc golf community. So I am so incredibly thankful for everyone who did reach out and who has reached out just to give, just to give me their thoughts and things of that nature. So it sucks. I'm gonna figure it out, even if it's just a vehicle that lasts me until the off season when I can get back home to Florida to have more time to then figure out from there. Then we're good to go. So yeah, it sucks.
If people want to know what the tour life is, this is an element of the tour life.
Mm-hmm. I mean, really, I was talking about it earlier. This is with my dad. He said, he's like, you've been driving on the road, logging hundreds of thousands of miles, and this is the first real thing that's happened. He's like, I mean, you guys have been, doing pretty good.
That's
very, very fortunate. So I will say, stay attentive. I mean, I was doing 80 miles an hour and I was watching the road and it didn't even matter. Like, there are things but I do think that because I was watching as I saw it happen, that I was able to get off the road safely and stuff like that. So, things could have been worse. I'm okay. But, yeah, pay attention while you drive. So, yeah.
All right, there you go. So, lesson learned. Make sure you check your insurance. Make sure you have all the insurance you need.
The goods.
The goods for you. So, all right, let's jump into the disc golf questions. This one is from Drew from Colorado Springs, and he wanted to make sure we knew that he was at an elevation an altitude of 6,500 feet.
Okay.
Hey, guys, I just got back from Emporia. Sorry, Bobby. Unbound Gravel Racers swooped up your Airbnb. Yes, they did. Also, this episode is sponsored by Bobby's Airbnb located in Emporia, Kansas. If you're looking to play any disc golf in Emporia, Kansas, look up airbnb.com/h/Uncle Bobby Jr. Thank you. While there, I got to see the difference in stability in discs at lower elevations. At higher elevation, the differences are way more subtle in stability. I saw the importance of having more discs with differences in stability within the same mold. I'm headed to Austin in October for the National Amateur Disc Golf Tour Championships. He's going to play MP40. Any tips on how to prepare for that change in elevation while at higher elevations in Colorado? For example, field work. Then anything I can do when I get there a day before the tourney starts. Bring lots of discs. Thank you guys, and keep it real. What advice you got for him?
So I don't think there's anything you can do to train it unless you just go out and get way flippier discs that you normally wouldn't throw. So say let's use it as an example that you're generally let's use Discraft. Let's just like pick a company. You generally throw Undertakers, right? Like a pretty straight, but at high elevation is probably going to be decently stable. Like that's your go-to. It's like maybe throw a Heat and get some really flippy stuff in your bag and try and get used to how that flies. Like that would be the only way I think you could. But I would if you can't, if it doesn't actually translate, which I don't know if it would, I would just go down and when you're going to practice, instead of practicing the course for a day, get used to your discs for at least like an hour, maybe an hour and a half worth of field work. What do you think, Robert?
No, I think you're exactly right. I mean, it's so hard to simulate your discs being less stable than you think they're going to be. You know, like I remember the first time I saw Joe Revere tee off in Emporia, or like it was his first shot out of the car. It was Old Country Club hole 1, like that big hyzer, like 560 or something like that. And he was throwing a really overstable destroyer. And he started it on Anheuser, and I promise you it went 1 million miles right. And I was like, wait, what? He said, dude, that's supposed to be stable. And so, like, it's really hard to simulate things being more understable than you are anticipating. I think I'm with Eric on this one. The earlier you can get there, the better. So that's what I would do, man.
Yeah,
test them all out. Yeah, you're gonna get. I think you're wise too to say don't do it on the course to start because you're just going to get frustrated. Like, go to the field, find your new norm. And it's going to be similar to how Emporia was. I haven't found the elevation difference in Austin and Emporia to be of note at all. So you should be fine there, but yeah.
Also, stay tuned to the Whale Pants channel. Probably not going to be in time for the NADGT, but I actually was in Utah this past week doing some stuff with Infinite Discs, and that's actually a video series that I'm doing. I grabbed 7 discs, brand new, went out, threw them at high elevation, and now I have those 7 discs. I left them in a box, and then I'm going to take those home, and when I'm in Florida, film me throwing those there to see how different they are. Initial thoughts, which just go watch the video when it happens. It'll be a while though. Initial thoughts: slower and more neutral discs. It's harder to tell. It's harder to tell that drastic change in elevation. High speeds, it is very different, and I think it's because there's less air, so they don't get up to speed. They don't get as much drag pulling on them, and it is more difficult to really get them at that speed to get that true flight. So that is early thoughts, and I think that's pretty accurate to what everybody thinks, but it's just good to actually see a video where we put it to action.
For short.
Yes. What did you say? For sure?
For short.
Oh, okay.
For
All right,
sure.
let's see, we got a speak pipe from Chaser. Let's see what he has to say.
Yo, Shay.
What's up, guys? This is Shay from Philly with a question for you about stamina. So a few weekends ago, I played my first double-double since probably 2018. So I played a 2-round tournament on Saturday at a course I had never played before. And then on Sunday, I played a crosstown at 2 courses I've played before, but in layouts I've never tried. So played 4 rounds blind. Not a smart idea to begin with. But that second day was particularly bad. I had no gas in the tank in that 4th round, and it was actually a crosstown. So I had to drive 30 minutes to the second course and then, eat lunch. And my body just got all stiff during that transition. It was not a good time. I shot like 920 rated golf the first couple rounds, which I was okay with. And then my last round was like 860. It was abysmal. So my question is, what do you do to build up your disc golf stamina? I mean, I was a distance runner for a few years, and, I've run 10 milers, no problem. But that is very different from disc golf. So what are some things you can do to, keep your stamina up and keep going when you're on a grind like that? I know it's double-doubles, kind of like old school disc golf. It's a thing of the past right now, but trying to play as much as I can when I can and the opportunity arose. But if you have any suggestions that help me endure a long weekend, I would really appreciate it. So thank you guys, and as always, keep it real.
What do you guys think?
Have you played any tournaments like that, Robert?
Yeah, I mean,
I've done
nonetheless.
done multiple tournaments in a weekend in a similar fashion because I actually haven't.
Yeah, not in the last couple of years, but I remember the Des Moines Challenge several years ago was 4 rounds, 2 days.
Yeah.
All in Des Moines, which I don't think that's anybody's preferred. Well, maybe some people's preferred. I don't know. They just want to get in as much golf as possible. If I was to give advice on this, it would be if you have one of these coming up and you have the opportunity on a Saturday to play 2 rounds in a day, go do it. Put that amount of time on your legs and see what you need to do overnight to feel rested and rejuvenated. I think that'd be really helpful. Another thing would be that maybe you did this, maybe you didn't, but when you said you had to drive half an hour in between courses and your legs there, or you felt stiff when you got back. I've made the mistake before of warming up really well before the first round, going to lunch, get back for my second round tee time, and throw like 2 or 3 shots, and I'm like, yeah, I was warm before. I guess I'm probably warm now. I will take almost the same amount of time to warm up for the second round, just to make sure that I don't make that mistake again. And so, I mean, that's something that I would do, is make sure that your second warm up is really good. I mean, carbo loading and drinking a lot of water the night before the event,
Yep.
it's ill-advised by most diets to eat a ton of pasta before or just a ton of pasta period, but it's really helpful actually to load up on stuff like that. And then a ton of water, and if you have liquid IV or some hydration type stuff, get that in there.
Chug,
make
dude.
sure that
Chug.
Yeah, make sure that your legs are there to carry you. And then the last thing, and this is like a real dad thing to say, but don't wait till you're thirsty to drink water, because at that point in your body, it's too late, right? You're already starting to be dehydrated. Just make it a habit to just drink water, a ton of water, all the whole time you're there.
There you go. All right, we got a question on Facebook that actually will help us transition over to the topic of the match play. So we'll go over that question, and then Eric can give his thoughts on it. Thoughts on the match play and the mountain disc golf? Why aren't more tournaments played in Colorado? I'd love to see some Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite events played at Bailey, Beaver Ranch, and some other courses in Colorado. What did we play? We played Bailey?
Beaver Ranch is what we played, yeah.
Oh, we played Beaver Ranch? Okay.
It's a sick course, but it's not a Pro Tour caliber course.
Yeah.
In my opinion, at least the layout that we played, it's super cool. Super cool. Holy crap. But probably far too many par 3s to be really excited about at the top level. I think another reason that they don't play in Colorado is, well, twofold. One is that the elevation is so much different than you see elsewhere on tour. That throws some people. But two, on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, in order for an event to be held in an area, a local group has to kind of commit to helping run it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I don't know what the scene is like in Colorado. I've heard it's great. I've played up there some, and it's awesome. But somebody has to get in touch with Jeff or whomever from the Pro Tour and just say, hey, we want to be a tour stop. This is what we're willing to commit time-wise, money-wise, all that stuff, to kind of get their location on the map, so to speak. I don't know.
I can hear the phone call now. Someone calling Jeff. Hey, Robert McCall.
Yep.
He said, hey, I want my course to be in the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah. It's a tough line, because it has to be tried, it has to be tested, it has to be good enough, and the best places, you can send people out to look at it, but until you play it in an event, it's really tough. So
yeah,
why we don't go to elevation, I think it's just exactly as Robert said. It's do they have the infrastructure to allow for it? I would love to play more tournaments at Solitude in Salt Lake City, Utah. Like I think that's one of my favorite courses. I got to play it while I was there, and I think the track and when you play the extra holes, the letter holes, like it offers some of the most unique disc golf you ever play. But it is 35, 40 minutes from Salt Lake City, up a mountain, and you have to take a lift up. It adds a lot of complexity to running an event. And is that good for Pro Tours? Probably not. Do you really think everybody should start their round by taking a 20-minute lift ride up to the top of the mountain to then play disc golf? It's like, that's weird. It doesn't necessarily function as well as we would like. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough because there's a lot of factors. I do think we will start to see more. We could see more courses going in mountainous areas. Just takes a lot more work.
So tell us a little bit about the match play, Eric. I believe you're the only one that's watched any of it between the three of us.
I saw a
great
few holes,
format.
not a ton.
Okay. Yeah, great format. Was kind of fun to watch. I love that they did kind of like a group play where your match is counted and stuff like that. It's like really felt like a soccer tournament. Essentially, is the way I kind of classify it as like
the group of death.
Yeah, for sure. So I loved that. I think another big highlight I enjoyed was the men and the women playing together on the finals together. I think that was great to give shared airtime, which I think is very good because often it's, women in the morning break, men in the afternoon, where it was just a lot more free flowing, which is really, really good. I think there's one part of it that I don't love, and this was the one thing this was like hey, I think this could change, but I'm not sure how you fix it, was the seating. The seating mattering a lot more. We saw this in the players in the Pro Tour Championships as well, where, man, if you were seated high, like it was almost like having a stroke advantage on the rest of your card, which is like, to me, that's not what disc golf is always about, but I guess it's okay in this scenario because it's so rarely used. But yeah, it's tough. I just didn't like that, it's like, oh, cool, I was seated higher, so I automatically go to the finals, even though we had the same amount of points, same amount of hole differential, those types of things. And not to say that, anybody who made the finals didn't deserve to make the finals. They all did. They earned their part by being there and being top of the group, even if it was a tie at the top. It just felt like, man, I would feel, like, man, I did everything. I got the same amount of points and everything, and I don't even have a chance. It's like because of seeding. So I'm not sure what that fix is, but and again, maybe it's just this one thing, and it's okay. That's a part of the rules. That's the benefit you had from playing good at the early events and throughout the year and having a high Pro Tour standing. So maybe that is fair. I don't know. I guess that was the one thing that I had just a why though.
Yeah.
But maybe why not?
What are your thoughts on that, Robert?
Yeah, I understand needing tiebreakers for something like that, but also I would so be in favor of just playoff tiebreakers.
Thank you.
Like,
that's what I was thinking. It's like, let them play it out.
Yeah, like this is a match play event, and in no other scenario are players more one-on-one with one another than this. So I think the tiebreaker should literally just be you start playing until one of y'all loses.
Yeah.
All right, send them through. Like if I love the pool play because it gives you an opportunity to see all the players, and it's not just a one and done thing. You're guaranteed 3 matches at absolute minimum. But if there's a tie after that, let them go head to head again. It's not. I don't want it to feel like flipping a coin or, let's say Eagle is playing in this event. And he would have been a low seed in Disc Golf Pro Tour points because he hadn't gotten to play a whole lot with injuries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Eagle probably has a good chance to beat a lot of those guys if he can get in the final. So I see where they're coming from as far as the points go. But man, let them duke it out. Like, let's get in there.
Well, Daniel puts up a good point in the chat. It's like, Simon beat Joel head to head. Like And that's the other thing is like, do you go head to head? Do you go by the standings? I think it's if hole differential, points, and like forget head to head, hole differential and points are the same. It's a playoff. You you play it off, you earn it on the course, you earn it right then and there. You go to hole 1, play until somebody wins a hole. Sudden death. Let's see it.
I'd be in favor of it even earlier than that. Like if points add up, right? If it's two players with 6, or honestly 3, dude, go like a knockout style. That's exciting to watch, and everyone likes bonus golf. Well, the players might not, but everyone watching likes bonus golf. You know, get those guys and girls out there. Let them duke it out.
Match play, you're not playing 54 holes to 72 holes in a weekend. Right. For tournament play. Like some people were done. I mean, some people
those are shorter than those are shorter than 18. They're done in 12 for the most part. Mm-hmm. Sometimes fewer.
Yeah, if they went the whole thing, yeah.
So I would have been in favor of that. But yeah, the course looked awesome. Looked like there were some ballers out there taking care of business. You know, congrats to Joel Freeman. That's a big win.
That's very big, and also congrats to Owen Scoggins. Like that,
and Owen as well.
I mean, I watched it, and there was a moment that you thought it was slipping away from Joel when he had like a 35-footer on a kind of a precarious basket, hits the band, rolls to oblivion, and you were like, did he just open the door? Because I think that put him within 1 with Kevin, so that Kevin had a chance, but then Kevin didn't execute on the next couple holes. But it was like, man, it was a situation where Joel goes up 3, instead he's now up 1. It's like if he lays up, he stays up 2, and it might be a different situation. So I respect Joel as a player for going for it, because you know what? The dude was feeling confident. He was riding that wave, like and it showed because he closed the door just a couple holes later. But you could tell he was a gamer. He wasn't going to really lay up putts when he probably should have. He was just trying to keep playing really, really good golf, because laying up is not a part of his game. So it's fun to watch.
Right. Not at all. But speaking of that, though, let's talk about that for a second. Okay, so I heard in his interview, and maybe you heard this too, Eric. So I'm not totally sure of the context here, but I'll tell you how I heard it explained. So there's a hole where James, Conrad, and Joel were playing each other. James threw a great shot and got an unfortunate break, then like ran a putt and hit the band or hit the basket and then got a roll away, or maybe he went to lay up and got a roll away or something. So I think at best he was looking at 4. Joel, in his own words, threw a worse line and got kind of lucky. And he said all he needed to do was lay up to take the hole, right? Mm-hmm. Lay it under the basket, drop in his par, easy hole. And he ran the putt anyway. And Terry was asking him about it. He said, well, I mean, James had gotten 2 unlucky breaks, and I just felt like, that was kind of unfair for me to win a hole that way. So, for the integrity of the sport, I decided I was going to run it. Okay. Yeah. If you are in that situation, do you run that?
It's hard because it's like you say integrity of the sport, but isn't the integrity of the sport like trying to shoot the lowest score and winning like that? There's 2 schools of thought. Like,
right. I get the idea either way.
Sportsmanship and winning can be very polarizing at times. I think that shows great sportsmanship. Do I think that that's in the integrity of the game? In some aspects, yes, but also in some aspects, no. Because you need to know when to play smart. That is a part of disc golf. Right. That is a part of golf in general. So
for sure,
I would say yes and no. It depends. Like if I feel, if I'm in a mode, I'm gonna I'm feeling good, I run everything kind of thing. But if I'm not feeling that good and I feel like, all right, cool, this is an opportunity for me to kind of cement and play more of this golf and have an opportunity to win this event, I might play smart. I think there's definitely some parts of that.
Yeah. So when I heard him, like, dude, and good on you, Joel. Like that's cool if that's where your mindset is at. But I don't know, man. If that's me, I'm just laying up. Like, it sucks that happened to James. But how many unfair breaks have we gotten over the course of a career?
Yeah, for sure.
Just because it happened right here in this 12 holes, it's kind of hard for me to be like, all right, well. And I don't know, maybe that makes me a jerk, but I probably would have just laid it up.
No, I think there's, but I don't think
that's not what makes you a jerk.
There are plenty of other things. Thank you.
I just don't think there's. I don't think there's anything wrong with running it, and anything wrong with laying it up straight up.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's anything. You know,
Sure.
it's. Yeah, I mean, now we go back to the whole point of. I mean, no, it would have just been one hole. I guess never would. It's not strokes. It's just holes one hole differential.
Yeah, it's
I
just.
was gonna say if it was stroke differential, it's like maybe that would have been big in the grand scheme
Right.
of things that he would have had a birdie bet it like that could have helped him advance
Right.
past Simon for tiebreakers and stuff. So it's like no, yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
a good
is
thing.
what it
It's
is.
cool to see him do that and so on. But I mean, to go into another realm, like I don't know if you guys saw she hit some outrageous putts all weekend, which is what she kind of does. Like she is.
Yeah.
She
sick.
is one of the best putters on tour, and that is full stop. Both sides of the game, incredible. She hits 75-footer uphill, and puts a whole bunch of pressure on Ella when Ella's trying to chase her down. It's like Ella went from like potentially winning the hole to now like at best having the hole, and then misses
Right.
the putt and then loses the hole. It's just like that is crazy, and you could just tell. Like I mean, Ella was throwing the disc so well all weekend, and hats off to her for putting herself in a position to be in the finals, and playing a great semifinal, and throughout the group play, she was dialed. And to get there is and get beat by a player who's just on. Like hats off
Yeah.
to Own. I think
She was playing great.
they both can walk away from that situation feeling really proud of themselves, and it's awesome to see. It's like I think there was the other part of seeing Natalie Ryan come out and show up. She like kind of really played super solid in group play, but it's like it doesn't matter. You got to go play the next 12 holes, and not even next 12 holes. It's like it can be less than that. You got to play good when it counts. And so you could have said that Natalie Ryan looked like she was going to be one of the top to take it down, but catch a couple people off. Like she might have. Natalie Ryan could have been like the best like to par, but it doesn't matter in match play. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Like par does not matter. So it's kind of cool to think about.
All right, let's
Yeah,
get back
for
to the
sure.
questions. This one is from Wes. He wants to know, is Robert still throwing all trilogy, or has he branched out?
I'm throwing a whole bunch of stuff now. And
He's
dude,
throwing,
guys, I
like
played.
garbage can lids, plates.
I went
anything
back
that's
to all the
round.
stuff that we used for the Willett Heiser videos.
Oh,
and
yes,
I've got all
great.
of those in my bag.
Good.
Pancakes. Okay.
Nice.
Pool
Nice.
floaties. No, I have a super mixed bag right now. And guys, I played disc golf this weekend.
No
For
way.
real. I did. I went to a course about an hour from here called The Ranch. A buddy of mine here in the area, his name's Adam Case. It's on his land. And it is sick, boys. It is a nasty course. It's like oh man. It's got some Roy G aspects, right? Like
Nice.
tight carvable lines, which is pretty sweet. But then some, like you start in the woods and then finish in the open, and vice versa. Some island greens, a decent bit of OB. It's a sick course. So if you are ever in Texas, especially like in the Austin area, look up Adam Case on Facebook. His course is called The Ranch. It's one of my favorites I've ever played. It was so sick.
Sweet.
But I played absolutely terrible. It was
Nice. Fitting.
yeah, it was a random draw doubles. I got paired with Rex, who told me he listens to the show, by the way, which is cool.
What up?
And I played with Rex before we moved out to Emporia as well. But we just had a blast. I was just yanking everything right. I mean, like super grip locks, not like a little miss right, like everything right. But that's what happens when you don't throw for 2 months for real. Anyway,
There you go.
the disc that I was throwing, I've got a few different distance drivers in the bag. I got a Force in the really overstable spot, a couple of Wraiths, a Rive and a Grace. I'm kind of messing around with both of those. Then in kind of like the hybrid driver spots or faster fairways, Firebird, Onyx, Escape. Then T-Bird, Maverick, I'm rolling an Avenger SS. I don't roll stuff a whole lot, but I like a really understable disc. Then Rock, Buzz. I'm messing around with a Mustang right now. And then Throne Warden still. I have a Champion Classic Rock, in my opinion, the best approach disc ever made. Ever. Dude, if you have, I've said this before in here, if you have old Champion Classic Rocks that you're sitting on, just holler at your boy. Okay? Because most of the time they are very, very expensive to get your hands on one in decent shape. And I'm still putting a Warden, and then my jump putter is a old Casey Pro AVR, the Lotion. That used to have.
I love that name.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you put the lotion in the basket, Bobby. Come on. It puts the lotion in the basket. I bought it as a 175 Casey Pro AVR in like 2011, and now it's like a 168 no bead. It is super beat up and really, really flippy, and it's an awesome jump putter. So yeah, that's the stuff I'm throwing. Kind of
Nice.
little of everything.
Nice.
It's fun. I like it.
All right. Let's see. Next up, we have from Ian. He wants to know when Eric is choosing fundraiser team discs, how does the plastic type affect those decisions, like durability or stability, or how quickly it may sell based on the demand, or is it based on what the manufacturers have scheduled already? He says, I bought one of your Justice stamped discs, and I'm liking the newer Lucid plastic.
Nice. Oh, I appreciate that. Part of it is sales for sure. Like, it has to be. You can't just be like, yeah, give me like puke green, brown,
Yeah.
like DX plastic stuff. Like, that's what I want. Like you have to think about it as a standpoint. Part of it is I like to put my name on discs that I will continue to throw. Like, a Justice can be in my bag at any point. I love it. I used it for years. Been using an Ursus in the similar slot to test it out from Terminal Velocity. But that's a big part of it is picking something that is good, picking something that I can get behind. Plastic type is important because it needs to look good to sell. So that's like always going to be a factor. Like, yeah. Again, it's I won't just say, hey, I want to have my name on blah 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 just to sell it, and it never ends up in my actual bag. Like, that doesn't
that's crappy disc name.
Yeah, but thanks. But it just defeats the purpose of putting my name on something. Like, I need to feel good about it. I need to be like, I am in on this disc. Like,
yep.
We've already, I'm planning on reaching out to Latitude 64 to see if we could do a run of Claymores. Some Claymorios would be sweet. And like opening the door for future opportunities. Like, I'm really liking the reactors, so maybe we'll chat with MVP. There's a ton of stuff. I even had a conversation with Infinite last week about, man, all right, if we get some extra Emperors, I'd love to have some EO Emperors, because I am absolutely in love with that disc as a distance driver, which, Robert, you need to back an Emperor. I'm telling you.
All at your boy.
Yeah, I got you. It is.
I got you.
It is like, oh man, I really like the destroyers that go really far. It's like, cool, insert Emperor. Like, immediately it just goes far. So it's dope. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of factors that go into it. I need to get behind it completely, just for integrity's sake. And yeah, I think those are all important factors.
Nice.
When choosing a disc.
Kenneth
It's got to be
wants-
good
oh,
too,
sorry.
because
Yeah, it's
if I'm gonna ask if it's that good, is that good, like, you
I mean, it
gotta
needs to
know.
be good.
It needs to be good.
Are you done, Eric?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
So it's like
Yeah, I knew that
when,
was coming.
yeah,
It's too predictable at this point.
Kenneth,
but
asked on-
that's what makes it good.
Kenneth on Facebook says, will there ever be an EMAC guest host sighting? Also, we need the old intro music back. The fact it disappeared is a travesty. LOL. I don't know if you'll see EMAC on there. I'm not sure about the intro music. I actually had a couple people when we first came out with this newer Disc Golf Answer Man. I actually had some people say that they missed the old intro. What do you guys think? What do you guys think on YouTube? And then I'll put a poll. Also, I'm going to put a poll on the Spotify. If you have Spotify, it allows you to put a poll on there or at least ask a question. So if you're listening on the audio and you have Spotify, go find this episode and vote. Bring the old DeGam intro song back, yes or no. What's the vote on the chat for now? And then what do you guys think? What are your all's opinion?
I think I like the old music. It's fun.
Does Robert even
like the
remember what it
new.
sounded like? Oh, you like the new?
No, I remember what it sounds like, of course. I kind of like the new just to switch it up, you know?
Yeah. Maybe I just play both. I'll play both for about 8 seconds and then
Back to back.
yeah.
Or on top of
Appease
each
everyone.
Right. Yeah.
Layers.
Oh, nice.
Layers, yeah. Layers.
I think music works that way usually. You just play them at the same time.
Yeah. Have you ever not you haven't heard of what's his name, Sick Ick?
We just need to have mashups. Need somebody to do some mashups.
Need to do a
there you
mashup
go.
of the new
That's
and the
what we
old
need.
one.
Do
All right,
it.
let's go. We have one last question from Josh from a Speak Pipe, and we'll get that now.
This is Josh in South Florida, and I have a question about pace. I just threw a couple rounds, and I threw the disc really well. I keep track of my throws on UDisc, and I think for my last round, my drives were 97%, which is, I think, my best ever. But I noticed as I was throwing, if I don't overthink it, if I just kind of recognize what I need to do, step up and throw it, I throw it much better than if I have extra time, such as in like a league or a tournament, where the pace is much slower and much more time to think about each throw and the things that could go wrong or the things that I need to do. And so I just wanted to maybe some advice or guidance or maybe just hear your thoughts on what do you do, what's different in maybe a practice round and in a tournament where you have a practice round is much quicker. You don't overthink things too much or have as much time to think about things. But in a tournament, you know, it lasts hours each round, and so you have much more time to think about each and every throw because you're waiting for your card mates as well to make their throws. So for me, I find it negatively affects me to have more time, and so I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the subject. Thank you. Look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Nice.
All right, sorry for the audio there. I tried to turn it up as much as I could, but that was about all I could turn up. But you guys were able to hear his questions. What are your thoughts?
Man, pacing is really tough because that's why when people talk about their practice rounds, it's hard to like talk about scored practice rounds. You're like, cool, do it when it matters. Like it can mean so much because a lot of the times in those practice rounds, you can be like, oh, I was only throwing my first shot. I scored my first shot. But you were throwing shots in between, so you're able to stay more dialed in. Your body was a little more loose. You didn't have to wait on this hole for 15 minutes. You didn't have to do that. You know, you didn't have to make a rules call that cost you, waited. So you had to wait 5 minutes before you actually had to putt after you threw your shot to 25 feet. Like, there's so many factors, so many layers that come into play. And it's tough. So, things that I do to not think about it and keep my body loose. I do some disc golf strong exercises in between just to make sure my body's moving so I'm ready to throw often. But the other part is not thinking about disc golf when I'm not disc golfing. Turn that brain off. I'll pull up Discord. I'll chat about TV shows or other stuff or just crack jokes with my card. Really doing everything I can to not actually be thinking about the disc golf I'm playing. That gives me a lot more energy. It gives me a lot more timing. So then, in reality, I'm playing for the same amount of that pacing that you were doing well at, but I was giving myself a better opportunity to be more present-minded and in the moment, rather than sitting, waiting for my turn to throw and be like thinking about every single thing I have to do about this throw. I'm going to be really good. I'm going to throw it like this. And then it's just like, at that point, you're worn out. Your body's not going to be ready for it. You do the same, Robert?
Oh yeah, 100%. That was a big shift for me a while ago because like I'm a really analytical person. Okay, so when I was playing disc golf, I would throw my shot, kind of get an idea where it ended up, and then I would spend from then until I arrived at my shot just thinking about like, okay, well, what angle am I going to have to basket? Well, if I don't have this angle, like, how am I going to salvage a par, or I mean all this stuff. I mean, my brain was just racing 24/7, and so you could go back if I had old scorecards saved from that time, you could go back and see like through 12 or 13 holes, I played pretty well for the most part, and I almost always fell apart on the last like 5 or 6 holes, and it was because mentally I was exhausted. You can't maintain that sort of focus for that long, right? So yeah, I think that's a fantastic strategy. It's one that I employ as well. I try and focus really intently for like the 20 to 30 seconds that it takes to select my disc, assess the lie or the tee shot or whatever, throw it, and then let my mind go to whatever. I'll watch what the other guys are throwing, but not so much to get reads, but more to just like be able to pick out where they threw, if they went, out of bounds, or if we lost it in tall grass. Also, to like to tell them good shot. It's always fun to see good shots. But so yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. Another suggestion that I might make to you is during your practice rounds, if you want to do a scored practice round specifically to prepare for a tournament, get 3 other people out there with you who want to do the same thing, because that is going to slow you down by necessity. Okay. Getting accustomed to tournament pace, I think is one of the most important aspects of learning to score well at a tournament, because it's not like when you just get to throw, walk 30 seconds, get to your shot, throw, walk 15 seconds, make your putt, and go on to the next. Mm-hmm. That's just not how tournaments work. And so if it's something that you're serious about and you really want to simulate that practice, get some other people out there with you. Or even if they don't want to prepare for a tournament, just having more people out there with you is going to slow you down and make it so that you really do have to get that practice. So that's what I would do.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's all the time we have for this episode. We appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you sending in the questions. Keep those questions coming on in on the Google form.
So also go check out Bobby's Airbnb, but please, for my sake, buy every Eric Oakley disc you possibly can, so I can figure out this whole card situation. So
for sure.
I don't like doing that, but also, Pathfinders are dropping here soon, so check out Pathfinders when they drop, and buy alpacas. And I actually just got a message about, we'll spoil it here, Metal Flake Glow Dynasties. So they are in, and I cannot wait to throw them.
There you go. There you go, folks. There you go. All right, guys. Thanks so much again for tuning in. We will see you next time.
Later.
Bye.